When a woman is jealous of the influence and the attention that you get from other people, when your light starts to shine a little bit too bright for her, that's when she wants you to go back into the background. Some people, some women, get so jealous of other women, especially women they call friends, when they start getting a lot more attention than them. You will know who your real friends are when you start being, or when you stop being, the background friend and start coming into the forefront. This situation with Portia and Shamia from the Real Housewives of Atlanta, this is giving jealousy. This is giving that I'm only comfortable with Shamia when she's in the background. And now that she's getting so much attention, I'm jealous of her. That's what I'm getting from Portia. See, Shamia was like that diamond in the rough. She was that girl that nobody really knew anything about. And when she came into the forefront on the show, she started showing that, her husband, he's a HVAC manufacturer. He gifted her a Rolls Royce for her birthday. She is, her home is beautiful. She's doing all these different things. She is actually like the epitome of the Real Housewives and what people want to see. And Portia knew that. And she knew the risk she would be taking putting Shamia in the forefront. But somehow in her mind, she thought that she was going to be able to handle her shine. And just like many other secretly jealous women, she showed herself by her lack of support for Shamia. See, you have to be careful with friends who only are comfortable with you as long as you stay a background friend. They don't want you to get any attention. They don't want to share your accomplishments. What kind of friend, and this is how you can tell when a woman is jealous of you, and when you're shining a little bit too brightly in front of her and that makes her uncomfortable. Shamia actually made a song and she was expressing that, displaying that with the rest of the group. And if a woman is your friend, you would think she would be supportive, but she was actually doubting whether or not that was her voice on the recording. She tried to say it was Drew. And while I'm not an avid, watcher of Real Housewives of Atlanta, but this just shows how jealous women can be when they see you shining a little bit too brightly. They actually get jealous of how much attention you get and how likable you are. Shamia seems to be down to earth while also being very much a woman of status and class and money and all that kind of stuff. And it's too much for Portia to handle. Like suddenly now they're not as close as they used to be. And in my opinion, it's simply because now she's in the forefront. Now she's the it girl. Now she's the one that other people are looking at and looking at her life and admiring. You can tell when a woman is jealous of you, even if it's supposed to be your friend, if in your moments of celebration, she's trying to take the attention away from you and make it about her, that's how you can tell, one way you can tell a woman is jealous of you. This lady, Shamia, was getting a brand new car from her husband. And not only did Portia show up to the event late, she actually came into the car while she was celebrating, hugging her husband, being happy, doing what she does and trying to take that attention away from her. She made the moment about her, which is the number 2 sign that you can tell your friend is developing jealousy against you. She's trying to take the attention off of you and make it about her. When a woman is uncomfortable with the amount of attention and likability that you get from other people, she will always try to turn things around and make it about her. She will always try to make it seem or gaslight you into believing that everything you're seeing with your eyes is not really that way. See, some people will look at that and say, she's just sharing a moment with her friend. That's her friend. Why couldn't she be there while she was in the car? Well, class and decorum says, number one, you don't show up to an event late and then get in the spotlight where the birthday girl is celebrating and enjoying her moment with her husband. That's what class and decorum says. But tactlessness and women who are jealous will say that in this moment, I don't like all the attention. I'm really upset about the fact that she's even getting this kind of gift. So I have to get in the middle of that to somehow serve as a distraction in this moment. And that's exactly what Portia was doing. She didn't like the idea that she got this kind of gift, and she had to do like many women do in their not so subtle way, try to take the attention off of her and make it about herself. And if you go back in the history, you will see that Portia, even though she's her best friend or was her best friend, she didn't show up for her wedding. And this was 10, 11 years ago. And the reason being was so petty, something about not wanting to be in coach. And really, women, when they're jealous of you and jealous of how you live and how you are, and once again, your lifestyle, they will make every excuse in the book to not be around you simply because it makes them uncomfortable. And then the last thing you could see in this situation with them, and I'm going to show you how this pertains to just every woman and how being loyal to the wrong people can actually absolutely be harmful for you. Because some women are so loyal to a fault that they don't even realize when they have a jealous friend around them, when they have a friend who's trying to sidekick them and put them in the background. See, the last straw, and what Shamia, I think this really opened her eyes when she made that song and she was sharing it with everybody else, and Portia was trying to act like, what's the big deal? This is your friend. And if anything, she was trying to place doubt and say that it wasn't her voice. What kind of friend does that? Only a hater. Only a hater takes your moment and spin it around to make it out to be something that it's not. So ladies, being loyal to somebody who's not loyal to you, that's the number one mistake. And I can tell with Shamia that she's very feminine, she's very kind, she's very much like that benefit of the doubt kind of girl, like many of us are. But the thing about that, when you are always giving somebody the benefit of the doubt and you're always trying to see the best and you're being a very loyal friend, and she even said that herself, that she's very loyal to her friends. You can't be loyal to a hater. You can't be loyal to somebody who's jealous of you. Anytime you're doing something great and the person who's supposed to be close to you cannot clap for you, but they're always saying something shady, that is not a friend and that is not somebody you can trust. And when you're loyal to somebody who's not loyal to you, not only does it make you look like a fool, it makes you an easy target to be taken advantage of. Portia is known to, quote, take other people's husbands. And I say quote because nobody can really be taken. If they're going to go, they're going to go. But Portia is that temptress. She's that seductress. And if she has this lifestyle because of the kind of life that her husband was able to provide, an opportunistic, unloyal friend like Portia will definitely look for an opportunity to bring her down a notch by taking her husband, quote, taking her husband, or trying to intervene in that relationship. So Shamia really has to watch her back in that regard. But let's take it out, take away the Real Housewives of Atlanta and just speak in general terms as women. When you are loyal to a friend, to a woman who's jealous of you and she's only comfortable with you being in the background, she doesn't like that you are so successful. It's almost like she'll keep you a secret away from other people because she knows that you are that girl. It's weird. It's a very weird dynamic when a woman is your friend, but also jealous of you, which is not really friendship. It's like she'll be happy for you in private, but in public, in front of other people, she just can't celebrate you because you're getting way too much attention, and that's not what she signed up for. Especially if you all grew up together, or if she saw you through your journey while you were actually elevated but not where you are now. When people start taking to you and they're seeing what you're doing, they see how you live, they just see your personality, and you get a lot more attention than the other woman, that's when jealousy and envy can grow in friendships and in family dynamics and everything. I believe that Portia was actually keeping Shamia a secret. That's literally what it seems like, because I don't really watch the Real Housewives. I see clips here and there, but I hear a lot of people saying that Shamia should have been on the show from the first place because she represents what that is supposed to be about. The class, the status, the style, the money, all that stuff. And I know that Portia knew that, and that's why she's like the background friend. And Shamia, with her character, and once again, it's like being feminine, being classy, having decorum. It's like a double-edged sword because it's like that you have the attributes to be in the forefront, but because you are soft and because you are feminine and because you are humble, you often hesitate to put yourself out there like you should, because you know how much attention you'll get if you put yourself out there. You know that you can literally start, elevating in spaces where other people are not used to seeing you elevate. And it might make some uncomfortable. It might make people not like you. And because of that, especially if you suffer from loyal friendism, you will feel like you need to just stay in the background so that other people can continue to be okay. But when Shamea, I don't know the inner workings of how she came to the forefront, but when she came out to the forefront, even by Portia's own admission, they're not as cool as they used to be. And in my opinion, it's simply because of jealousy. Portia was not ready for her background friend to be the main character. And that's what happened. And you have to be mindful of when you start doing better in your life. And when if you are the same kind of woman like Shamea, or maybe you're more kind, more reserved, more in the background, just doing your thing, when you get opportunities to be in the forefront, that's when you will see who your real friends are. That's when you will see the women who are actually jealous of you, or the women who could actually ride beside you and still be supportive and celebrate for you and you for them. But the sad reality is that some of your friends will turn into enemies the moment you start being the main character, because they're used to you being an extra in their story. But the moment you're no longer an extra in their story and you have things that are actually worth talking about, worth seeing, people actually admire what you're doing and they're inspired by your life. And many women have said, I see it on TikTok, many women are inspired by Shamea's life. And not just the money aspect, but just the way she carries herself. I mean, this lady I saw a clip not recently where she had 2 long pans of chicken. Her hands are deep in the chicken water, seasoning and rinsing and all that stuff. I mean, she's down to earth. She's just like us, except for with boatloads of money. And she's beautiful. All of us are beautiful in our own way. But the point I'm making is that because of how she is, it's easy to see why she would kind of be that background friend and not really realize how valuable she is, not just to the franchise for their show, but just in general, and how she could be an inspiration to other people. And I think a lot of us as women, because at one point the self-esteem or the confidence might not have been there, so you don't really see how valuable you are and how much of an impact and an inspiration you are to other people. You might have people in your life who are more comfortable with you being in the background, and you've taken that spot not because you don't feel like you have anything to offer or you don't want to be in the forefront or be the main character, as they say, but simply because some of us have been conditioned to just be other people's sidekick. It's like it's a rite of passage to just be some other woman's lapdog. And when you start realizing that that person is deliberately, and this is unfortunate, but it happens, when you have friends or family who are jealous of you, they deliberately try to keep you in positions of submission to them. They don't ever want to see you step out on your own and be a whole person on your own. They don't really want to see you be the main character and be the main person doing the thing or succeeding or accomplishing or what have you, because they're used to you being in the background. And the women who typically fall into the background and, kind of get rolled over by these jealous women are the women who are always talking about how I'm such a loyal friend. I'll ride or die for mines. I'll do this for them. I'm there for you. And while there's nothing wrong with being loyal to the right people, there's nothing wrong with being a friend to whom a friend is to you. But the bad side about that is that when you don't have discernment and wisdom as a woman, you will find yourself being loyal to a snake. The moment you step out in the forefront and start speaking up and showing your gifts, skills, talents, your personality, now they have an issue with you. And that's what's going on with these young ladies. And that's what happened with many women who were once friends and now they're enemies, all because of jealousy. Some women are only comfortable with other women as long as you stay in the background. They will keep you like their hidden little secret of, oh, she has a degree, she has her own business, she has her own label, she has a beautiful family. But because they know, and jealous people, I'm not saying people have moments of jealousy. I'm talking about that's their character. They're a jealous hater. People like that know exactly what they're doing. They're very manipulative, and they can easily get you to be comfortable in a position of less than where you belong. They can get you comfortable being the person who's always there supporting them and supporting their dream and the things they want to do. But then when it's time for you to do something, they're always trying to make you think that what you want to do or what you want to accomplish or where you want to be is not that big a deal. Or it's like, oh, okay, that little thing, like, oh, that's cute. And I really believe that Portia is that kind of friend where it's like, okay, her little whatever. And it's only because Shamea is doing better than her and wearing it humbly. She wasn't doing all that extra stuff. And, you know, she's very classy, but just in my opinion, from some of the clips I've seen, she's not exactly like some of the other ladies. She tends to be a little bit more on the humble side while still having a lot of things. And people like that, unfortunately, when you don't have, and I'm not saying this about Shamea per se, but some women who, once again, suffer from that over loyalty, you will easily let people just push you into the background and you think somehow that's like a rite of passage. Somehow that's virtuous by being the woman who other people can kind of walk over and just push her aside, knowing that you have something to offer. And that's why, and this is kind of a little bit of a sidebar from this, as women, I always believe that you have to do something of your own and have something that's apart from whatever the group is doing. Despite her not having a peach or being a part of that, you know, TV show, she is still successful. Like, she has her marriage, her family, her children are beautiful. I saw her daughter, actually, beautiful, home, all that stuff. Looks like she has a close-knit family. So you can't be so attached to other people, especially women who can't handle your success and once again can only handle you when you're in the background. That's why it's good to be your own separate person and not let your identity be wrapped up in any one person, place, or thing. Because imagine if her whole personality and identity was wrapped up in her friendship with Portia and how, you know, they've been knowing each other since childhood or teenage years, and, you know, she would really be hurt by that. And some women who lack self-esteem, and this is why you have to have confidence, they will actually feel bad for showing their personality, their character, you know, showing their life in front of other people, all because now your friend is jealous. A friend will never be jealous of you for being yourself. She can't help if she has a husband who has money, who's able to provide. If she's getting more attention and likability from other people, that's just what happens when you're a likable woman. And when women get jealous of the fact that you are just simply likable and people are taking to you and now they don't want to be friends with you, that goes to show you that you don't need to be friends with them in the first place, and you have to be careful who you give your loyalty to. So yes, some women, if they can no longer have you as the secret background friend, the one they know is a gem, and if given the forefront, you actually will outshine them, or they see that you will outshine them, they think you will, they have that mentality, they will absolutely want to end the friendship simply because they perceive you as outshining them. And you are worth more than just being somebody's background friend or somebody's secret friend. Who wants to be friends with someone who can only be proud of you and talk about your accomplishments among you two, but around a group of people or in a situation where it matters, they don't want to back you up? And jealous women are like that as well. If they're really your friend, they will back you up no matter who's around. Not in private. They don't say, oh, that's good, girl, in private, and then in front of other people act like what you do doesn't matter. And Portia, once again, back to the show, she was really giving jealous hater vibes, especially when she was playing the song. She's talking over it, not even trying to listen. It's like, it's giving like, I'm jealous, like, who are you to make this song? Who do you think you are, kind of thing. And when women are jealous of other women, when they're secretly jealous of you, when you thought they were your friend, thought they were going to support you, and they just can't handle how much you shine, they will begin to be like haters. So be careful who you give your loyalty to as far as women, as far as friendships, and stop being loyal to snakes. When people show you that they're being shady towards you, that they're really not supporting you the way they need to, not that you need anybody's support. I want to make that clear. Because, of course, as human beings, we will hope to have other people's support. But as I've said on many other videos, as confident, feminine, leveled up women, you have to know how to self-validate. You have to know that you're great regardless of who tells you it or not. Because some people are so jealous, some people are so insecure within themselves, they find it very hard to clap for another person or encourage another person, even if it's somebody that's supposed to be close to them, even if it's your friend. She is a prime example of someone who likes to be a friend in private, but in person, she just can't support you. She has to throw the shade. And it's all because you might be more likable than what she expected you to be to the others. So when you start outshining or somebody perceives you as outshining them, don't be surprised how they change up. This is a perfect example. And women who want you to be a background friend is not a friend at all. Their jealousy and envy is showing, and you need to get away from them ASAP. All right? Like and subscribe to the channel and share this content. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. If you watch this video until the very end, put the high heel emoji in the comment section. I absolutely love to see it. Take care.